Hi everyone. So today we are going to learn about some hearing test. Not all the hearing tests. We are focusing on the main part, that is tuning fork test. That this tuning fork test you are directly going to perform at your clinic. For further tests you need the audiometry. So we are going to learn about tuning fork test. This is the tuning fork. This part is called as base of the tuning fork. This part, these are called as plates or prongs of the tuning fork, and this one is called as stems. There are many different type of tuning forks, like 100 Hz, 256 and 512. For hearing test, you particularly need 256 and 512 Hz hearing tuning forks. Okay. So now we are going to learn main three tests about the tuning fork test: Rennie's test, Weber's test, and the Skobek test. In all these tests, you have to learn about two things, that is the air conduction and bond conduction. So before going to learn this test, first in short, you will learn about what is air conduction and what is bond conduction. So if you know a theoretical part of this hearing, you know this is the external ear, this is the middle ear, and this is the inner ear. Now, whenever sound waves come, these sound waves first via external acoustic meatus, this will enter and this will strike with this tympanic membrane. Now, in the middle ear, this sound is actually amplified for 22 times. Because of this amplification, we can hear the proper sound. Right? So all this mechanism, then the sound will go to the inner ear. This is called as air conduction, because sound waves coming from the air. So this is the air conduction. Now, second is the bond conduction. So this is your skull bond. So whenever some sound strike with this skull bond, this sound move to the skull bond, and this will be directly transmitted to the inner ear. So you can say this will bypass the external ear as well as middle ear. The sound will directly goes to the inner ear. But keep in mind, when sound is transmitting through the air conduction, this will be amplified for 22 times. But this bond conduction, this will be not amplified, because this one is bypassing this middle ear. So that's why normally air conduction is better than bond conduction. This is in a normal human being. Okay? So this is in short about AC and BC. Now we want to find out which deafness is that via this test. So basically mainly two types of deafness. One is the sensory neural deafness and one is the conductive deafness. As the name suggests, sensory neural means deafness is present in the neural part, that means in this cochlea. While conductive deafness, again as the name suggests, conductive. Okay, so there must be some defect in this conduction. You learn this air conduction, sound is transmitting through the external ear, in the middle ear, and then finally into the inner ear. So obviously name suggesting there must be some mechanism which actually block this transmission, right? Okay. So first we will find out that in any patient, that is a patient is suffering from either sensory neural deafness or conductive deafness. So let us start how we can differentiate this. So first, Rennie's test. Okay. So what you have to do in Rennie's test? First, you need the tuning fork, that is 256 or 512 Hz. Explain properly to the patient. So, Suresh bhai, તમારે એ કાનની ટેસ્ટ કરું છું, તમને કોઈ હાર્મ થશે નહીં. હું તમારા પાછળ અહીંયા ટ્યુનિંગ ફોક મૂકીશ. જ્યારે તમને વાઇબ્રેશન સંભળાતા બંધ થઈ જાય ત્યારે તમે તમારો હાથ ઊંચો કરો, પછી હું તમારા કાનની સામે મૂકીશ, પાછો તમને જ્યારે અવાજ સંભળાતો બંધ થઈ જાય ત્યારે હાથ ઊંચો કરો. ઓકે. So what you have to ask the patient? You have to ask the patient that first, when you're putting the tuning fork, you have to ask the patient that when he or she stop listening the vibration, he or she has to put or raise his or her hand. After that, you have to put this tuning fork in front of the external auditory meters. Then again, when patient stop listening the vibration, he or she has to raise his or her hand. Okay. You have to strike this tuning fork against one rubber pad, hypothenar eminence. Okay, so as you have seen, first we put this tuning fork. Keep in mind, you have to put the base of the tuning fork on the mustard process. Okay, so when patient is stop listening this vibration, you have to keep this tuning fork in front of the external auditory meters. Again, keep in mind, the direction of the tuning fork will be like this, not like this, because frequency or vibration sound waves will going in this direction. So for the better result, you have to keep this tuning fork like in this direction. So sound wave will directly transmitted into the external auditory meters. Okay. So what we are basically doing, when we are putting this tuning fork on the mustard process, that means sound wave is directly going to the skull bone, and this will be, as we have learned, it will directly going to the inner ear. So this is the bone conduction. We are measuring the bone conduction. After that, when we are putting this tuning fork in front of the external auditory meters, now sound waves frequency will go first to the external auditory meters, then into the middle ear, and then into the inner ear. So that means we are measuring air conduction, as we all know. So when patient stop listening this bone conduction on the mustard process, and we have put this tuning fork in front of the external auditory meters, patient can still listen this sound. So that means in this patient, obviously air conduction is better than bone conduction. So that is absolutely normal. We have already learned why air conduction is better than the bone conduction. So that is absolutely fine. And in this case, you can say Rinne's test is positive. Normally, any test when you will find positive, that means you have some pathology, but in this case, this is absolutely normal if you find Rinne's test is positive. So Rinne's test is positive means air conduction is better than bone conduction. Okay. Now second test is vapor test. So what you have to do, you have to put your tuning fork on the mid of the forehead. You have to put your tuning fork on the mid of the forehead or on the scalp, and ask the patient that patient can hear the sound both the side equally or not. Okay, so again I am giving the instruction to the patient. Suresh bhai, હું આ ટ્યુનિંગ ફોર્કને તમારા માથા પર મૂકીશ, પછી તમને બંને બાજુ સરખું સંભળાય છે કે એક બાજુ વધારે સંભળાય છે એ મને જણાવજો. So you have to ask the patient to whether he or she can hear the sound both the side equally or not. Okay. બંને બાજુ સરખું સંભળાય છે, જમણી બાજુ વધારે સંભળાય છે. So here he says that he can listen the sound right side in increasing intensity. Okay, that means in a medical terminology you can say sound is lateralized to the right ear. Now we will find why the sound is lateralized to the right ear. So let us come back to this figure. First of all, what we are doing in vapor test, that we are putting a tuning fork in the mid of the forehead, and sound is transmitted through the skull bone on both the ear. That means if you are doing with the figure, sound is going to both the ear through the skull. That means it will directly go to the inner ear. Right? So ultimately we are measuring the bone conduction. We are not measuring air conduction. So we are just measuring the bone conduction. So normally, if you know any pathology in the ear, that means sound is equally, you will listen the sound equally in both the ear. But in this patient, sound is lateralized to the right ear. That means this patient may have some defect either on the right ear or on the left ear. We will find it. So in release stage, we are comparing AC and BC. In Weber test, we are just comparing BC of both the ear, right? Okay. If sound is not lateralized, that means sound will remain in the center. That means Weber test is normal. So in this patient, Suresh Bhai is hearing sound more towards the right ear. So that means sound is going to the right ear more. Now we want to find out if this patient has the defect in the right ear or left ear, or we want to find out if patient has a conductive deafness or sensory neural deafness. So first of all, say about if sound is lateralized to the right ear, that is because of two possibilities. First possibility, there may be some sensory neural deafness in case of this ear, that means left ear. So patient cannot hear anything from the left ear. So obviously automatically patient can hear more towards the right ear. That is the first possibility. Second possibility, if there may be some conduction deafness in the right ear, that means what we have already learned? We have learned that AC is greater than BC. But if you have some blockage in the air conduction, that means masking effect of air conduction over the bone conduction is not there. That means directly patient can only hear the bone conduction. So because of that, sound is more in the right ear. So those are the two possibilities. Now we want to find out in this patient, either on the right side you have conductive deafness, or on the left side you have sensory neural deafness. Now let us find it. So as we have done Weber test, sound is lateralized to the right ear. So it suggests either here the conduction deafness or here sensory neural deafness. Okay, from the release test to confirm here you have conductive deafness or sensory neural deafness. We already performed the release test, and the release test is absolutely normal. That means in the right ear, air conduction and bone conduction we have already done, and you do not have any conduction deafness. It means in the right ear you have AC is greater than BC. We have already done this. So that means no any conductive deafness in the right ear. So that means this patient has the sensory neural deafness in the left ear. That is how you can check the Venus test and Weber test, and you can confirm whether the patient has conductive deafness or sensory neural deafness. Finally, Skobek test, that is not that much useful nowadays, but still, how to do Skobek test? So what you have to do? You have to strike this. You have to put this base of the tuning fork on the mastoid process. Then again you have to put this base of the tuning fork on your mastoid process. Tuning fork So that means I am comparing his bone conduction with my bone conduction. Okay, assuming as I am normal. Okay, so that is how you can perform the Skobek test. You can find normally with the release test and Weber test, you can find out whether the patient is a conductive deafness or sensory neural deafness.